Continuing from Part 3, the Battery Waste Management Rule 2022, notified by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, provide a robust and unified framework for environmentally sound management of all categories of waste batteries in India. These rules replaces the earlier Battery Management and Handling Rule of 2001 and introduce the key regulatory mechanisms such as extended producer responsibility, defined collection target, and stringent recycle standards to effectively address the rising challenge of battery waste. This presentation offers a concise overview of the essential component under the 2022 rules, including the various forms of prescribed for compliance, the formulation and the submission of EPR plans, and the specific EPR targets set applicable to automotive and industrial batteries. It also highlights differential EPR target for various vehicle type and elaborate on the EPR certification system, which ensure accountability and traceability in the battery waste processing. Now let us explore the matter in detail. Slide 2. Appeal process for registration issues. The Battery Waste Management Rule 2022 lay down a clear appeal mechanism for addressing disputes related to suspension or cancellation of registration for producers, recyclers, and refurbishers. The producer's appeal. If a state pollution control board issue an order affecting a producer registration, the producer can file an appeal with the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. The Joint Secretary or any officer designated by the Ministry act as an appellate authority for such matters. Recycler refurbisher appeal. In case where CPCB orders impact recyclers or refurbishers, they may submit appeal to the member secretary of CPCB, who serve as a designated appellate authority for these category. Appeal submission. Appeal must be submitted in writing accompanied by a copy of the contested orders within the 30 days from the date of the order. These ensure timely redressal and procedural activity. Appeal resolution. The resolution period is defined. Producer appeal must be resolved within 45 days, whereas the recycler refurbisher's appeal must be concluded within 30 days of the receipt. Slide 3. Separate waste stream development. The development of a separate waste stream for used battery is crucial to effectively implement extended producer responsibility under the Battery Waste Management Rule 2022. This ensures efficient collection, recycling, and environmental safety. Collection schemes. Producers are encouraged to establish a dedicated collections mechanism such as deposit refunds systems or buyback program. These initiatives incentivize consumers to return used battery, thereby improving collection rates and supporting circular economy objective. Waste segregation. At the consumer level, segregation of batteries from other waste streams is essential. Proper segregation ensures that the batteries are not mixed with the general waste, reducing risk of environmental contamination and enabling efficient downstream processing. Proper handover. Collected batteries must be transferred to authorized collectors. These steps maintain the integrity of the waste streams, prevent illegal disposal, and ensure traceability throughout the recycling chain. Processing. The final stage involves sending batteries to registered recycler or refurbisher for environmentally sound processing. Whether through material recovery or refurbishment, this ensures compliance with the regulatory standard. While the producer may delegate these tasks to other entities, the ultimate responsibility meeting EPR target remains with them. A well-managed separate waste stream enhances accountability, promotes sustainability, practice and minimize the ecological impact of battery disposal. Slide 4. Landfill and Incineration Prohibition. The Battery Waste Management Rule 2022 strictly prohibits the disposal of waste batteries through landfill or incineration, reinforcing the principle of sustainability and environmental protection. Complete ban. Producers are prohibited from sending waste batteries to landfill or for incineration under any circumstances. This measure is crucial in preventing the release of hazardous substances into the environment and ensure batteries are handled through authorized and eco-friendly channels. Mandatory recycling. The rules mandates that all collected waste battery must be sent for recycling or refurbishing. This obligation ensures that the valuable materials such as metal are extracted and reintegrated into the supply chain, supporting the circular economy. Environmental protection. This prohibition significantly reduces the risk of the toxic material like lead, mercury, and cadmium leaching into the soil and groundwater. By avoiding landfill and incineration, the rules safeguard ecological and public health. Resource conservation. The focus on recycling ensured that valuable resources within the batteries are recovered and reused rather than lost. This not only converts raw material but also reduces dependency on the virgin mining and lower the carbon footprints of the battery productions. Slide 5. Forms required under the rules. Forms required under the Battery Waste Management 2022 mandate the use of specific forms to ensure regulatory compliance and streamlined reporting by producer, recycler, and refurbisher. 1. Form 1A. This form is used by the producer to apply the registration or renewal with the CPCB. It marks the starting point for any entity intending to manufacture or sell batteries in India. Form 1B. Once the application is approved, CPCB issue a certificate of producer registration using this form. It confirms the producer eligibility to operate under the EPR framework. Form 1C. The producers are required to submit this form annually to CPCB. It outlines the EPR plan detailing how the producer will meet their collection, recycling, and disposal obligation for waste batteries. Form 2A. This is the application form used by the recycler or refurbisher to seek registration from the State Pollution Control Board. Form 2B. Once the approved SPCB issue a certificate of registration to recyclers or refurbisher using this form, enabling them to legally process or refurbish used batteries. Form 3. The form is submitted by producer to both CPCB and FPCB. It serves the annual returns capturing detailed data on battery sales, collection, and the waste processing activities undertaken during the year. And the last one is Form 4, filed quarterly by the recyclers and refurbishers with SPCB. This form records their operations and performance in terms of volume processed and the material recovered. These forms provide a structural mechanism for tracking compliance, ensuring accountability, and facilitating the smooth functioning of India's battery waste management system. Slide 6. EPR Plan for Financial Year 2022-23. The Battery Waste Management Rule 2022 mandates producers to submit an extended producer responsibility plan specifically for the financial year 2022-23, marking the transitional phase for rule implementation. A special deadline. As per the rule, producer must file the EPR plan using the Form 1C with the Central Pollution Control Board within the 3 months of the rule's publication. This accelerated timeline ensured that the system is operational from the outset. Transition provision. To avoid delay in implementation, a special provision has been introduced. It allows the rules to be enforced promptly even before the commencement of the regular annual EPR planning cycle. Content requirement. The EPR plan must include detailed information on the total weight of batteries manufactured during financial year 2022-23. It should also present a breakdown by battery type such as portable, automotive, EV and industrial battery to enable precise target setting and monitoring. Implementation timeline. The initial EPR plan set the baseline for future obligation which will follow predefined schedules for each battery category. It enables producers to align their collection and recycling operations with the National Compliance Framework. Slide 7. Data compilation and publication. The Battery Waste Management Rule 2022 emphasizes robust data management for ensuring transparency and compliance through a well-defined process as first, quarterly data collection. Recyclers and refurbishers are mandated to submit quarterly data in prescribed format to the State Pollution Control Board. This ensures regular tracking of waste battery processing volume and promotes timely intervention if required. 2. Annual reporting. Producers are required to submit annual return to both CPCB and SPCB. These reports include detailed information on the battery production, waste collection, and compliance with EPR target, forming the basis for evaluating environmental performance. 3. National compliance. The Central Pollution Control Board (CPCB) is responsible for compiling these data at national level. This centralized repository enables policy analysis, performance review, and identification of the gap in the battery waste management across state and sector. And the last one is non-compliance obligation. To strengthen the accountability, the rules empower CPCB to publish the name of non-compliant entity. Public disclosure of non-compliance act as a deterrent and encourage proactive adherence to the EPR obligations. Slide 8. Hazardous material consideration. Hazardous material in batteries requires careful consideration during the recovery process. Some battery chemistries contain hazardous substances that cannot be safely or economically recovered. To address this, recovery targets are adjusted based on the percentage of non-recoverable hazardous material present in the battery. This ensures that the recyclers are not penalized for properly managing these batteries through safe disposal rather than forced recovery. The rule includes a special provision where the maximum recovery target is reduced by same percentage as the hazardous material content in the waste battery. This approach acknowledges that certain hazardous components must be handled differently to maintain environmental and the safety standards. Proper handling of these materials minimizes the risk to human health, and ecosystem regulations mandate clear labeling, safe precautions, and responsible disposal method. Laboratories and industries dealing with the hazardous material must implement a strictly protocol to prevent contamination and accident. By considering these factors, battery recycling process can be optimized while ensuring that hazardous materials are safely managed. This approach promotes sustainable recovery practice while protecting workers, community, and the environment. Slide 9. EPR targets for automotive and industrial batteries. Extended producer responsibility (EPR) targets for automotive and industrial batteries are designed to ensure sustainable waste management by mandating collection and recycling obligation for producer. For automotive batteries, the collection target begins at 30% in 2022 to 2023, increasingly rapidly to 90% by 2025 to 2026. Producer must achieve 100% collection and recycling refurbishment within 3 years cycle, with up to 20% of the largest allowed to be carried forward to the next cycle. For industrial batteries, the collection target starts at 40% in 2022 to 2023, progressively rising to 70% by 2025 to 2026. These batteries follow a 7-year compliance cycle requiring 100% collection and recycling refurbishment by the end of the cycle, with a carry forward allowance of up to 10%. The regulation aims to prevent environmental harm caused by the improper batteries disposal while encouraging producer to adopt eco-friendly practice by enforcing incremental collection. Target authorities ensures a structured transition towards full compliance. These measures not only mitigate the pollution but also promote efficient resource recovery, contribution to a circular economy. Slide 10. EPR target for e-waste rickshaw. Extended producer responsibility target for e-rickshaw batteries focus on structured collection and recycling to minimize environmental impact. The target begins at 70% collection starting from 2024 to 2025 based on the batteries placed in the market 3 years prior. The ensure accountability for older batteries preventing hazardous accumulation. The compliance framework follows a 7-year cycle requiring producer to achieve 100% collection and recycling within this period. Additionally, up to 60% of the collection target can be carried forward to the next cycle, allowing flexibility in the meeting regulation obligation. These targets promote responsible management of battery waste, ensuring valuable material are recovered while hazardous components are disposed of safely. The structured timeline encourages producers to implement efficient collection and recycling system, contributing to a circular economy. Slide 11. EPR target for two-wheelers EV batteries. Extended producer responsibility target for two-wheelers electric vehicle batteries aim to ensure structured collection and recycling, reducing the environmental impact. For specified years, the targets are as follows. For 2026 to 2027, 70% of the battery placed in the market in 2022 to 2023. Next is 2027 to 2028, 70% of the battery placed in the market in 2023 to 2024. Next is 2028 to 2029, 70% of the battery placed in the market in 2024 to 2025. And the last one is 2033 to 2034 onward, 70% of the battery placed in the market 4 years prior. The compliance framework follows a 7-year cycle mandating 100% collection and recycling refurbishment by the end of the cycle. To provide flexibility, producers are allowed to carry forward up 60% of the collection target into the next cycle. These target encourages the industry to develop efficient battery recovery system, reducing pollution while promoting a circular economy. The structured timeline prevents hazardous waste accumulation and enhance the material recovery. Authorities enforcing incremental collection obligation to ensure a well-regulated transition towards the sustainability in the EV battery sector. Slide 12. EPR target for four-wheelers EV batteries. Extended producer responsibility target for four-wheeler electric vehicles batteries aims to regulate batteries collection and recycling, ensuring long-term sustainability. For the specified years, the targets are as follows. For 2029 to 2030, 70% of the battery placed in the market in 2021 to 2022. Next is 2030 to 2031, 70% of the battery placed in the market in 2022 to 2023. And the last one is 2043 to 2044 onward, 70% of the battery placed in the market in the 8 preceding year. The compliance framework follows a long-term cycle mandating 100% collection and recycling refurbishment by the end of the cycle. Additional producers are allowed to carry forward up to 60% of the collection target into the next cycle, ensuring flexibility while maintaining the accountability. Given the longer lifespan of four-wheeler EV batteries, these targets help to prevent hazardous waste accumulation, encourage efficient material recovery, and reduce the environmental risk. Producers must implement effective collection and recycling mechanism to align with these standards, promoting a circular economy within the EV battery industry. Slide 13. EPR target for other portable batteries. Extended producer responsibility, that is EPR target for other portable batteries, aims to ensure a high rate of collection and recycling, fostering a circular economy. For the financial year 2025 to 2026, the minimum EPR target is set 50% of the quantity of the battery placed in the market during 2022 to 2023. The target incremental increased to 60% for 2026 to 2027 based on the batteries placed in the market in 2023 to 2024. From 2027 to 2028 onward, a more ambitious target of a minimum of 70% is mandated, calculated against the quantity of the battery introduced in the market in the third preceding financial year. Beyond these annual targets, a significant 10-year cycle requirement is in place. This mandates the collection of 100% of the waste battery and ensure 100% refurbishment of recycling by the end of each 10-year compliance cycle. This long-term requirement underscores a comprehensive commitment to preventing battery waste, promoting resource recovery, and mitigating environmental impact over the sustained period. Slide 14. EPR target for portable batteries, consumer electronics. Extended producer responsibility EPR target for portable batteries in consumer electronic outline a progressive approach to managing battery waste. For the fiscal year 2022-23, producers were mandated to collect a minimum of 50% of the battery they had placed on the market in 2017 and 2018. This target sees an increase in the subsequent year 2023 to 2024, where the requirement rise to a minimum of 60% collection based on the quantity of battery introduced in 2018 and 2019. Looking ahead from 2024 to 2025 onward, the EPR target becomes more stringent and standardized. Producer will be required to collect a minimum of 70% of the quantity battery placed in the market during the fifth preceding financial year. This rolling target ensures continuous responsibility for older batteries. Further, a crucial 10-year cycle requirement specifies that by the end of each 10 years compliance cycle, there must be a mandatory collection of 100% of waste battery coupled with a 100% refurbishment or recycling of these collected units. This comprehensive framework aims to ensure full life cycle management of the portable batteries in consumer electronics. Slide 15. EPR Certificate System. The EPR Certificate System is a critical mechanism designed to ensure compliance with the extended producer responsibility obligation, particularly for the waste management like batteries. This system operates through a structured four-stage process. Firstly, certification generation is handled by the CPCB. The CPCB generates these EPR certificates via centralized online portal. The quantity of certificate issued is directly correlated with the amount of the waste battery that have been successfully recycled or refurbished. Next, these certificates undergo assignment to entities. The generated certificates are assigned to authorized recycler or refurbisher. These are the entities directly involved in the processing of the waste batteries, thereby crediting their efforts in managing the end life of the product. Following the assignment, the system facilitates trading. Recycler and the refurbisher who hold these certificates can then sell them to producer. This trading mechanism typically occurs in exchange of the waste battery, creating a market-based incentives for efficient collection and processing. Finally, EPR compliance is achieved as the producer utilizes these purchase certificates. By acquiring and submitting these certificates, producers are able to meet their mandatory EPR obligation, effectively demonstrating that a certain quantity of these product waste has been responsibly managed through recycling or refurbishment. This comprehensive system promotes a circular economy and accountability in the waste management. Slide 16. EPR Certificate Calculation. The EPR Certificate Calculation is based on the specific formula used to estimate extended producer responsibility certificate issued to recycler. This formula plays a crucial role in quantifying the recycling efforts and ensuring accurate credit for waste battery processing. The core formula is EPR certificate, that is in kg, to actual recovery of the battery material in percentage by recovery target for specified year of the battery type in percentage multiplied by the quantity of the battery processed in kg into 1 minus A. Here A represents an adjustment factor based on the source of the waste battery. For waste battery generated domestically, the value of A is 0. However, for the waste batteries sourced through importer as allowed under the Hazardous and other waste management and transboundary movement rule of 2016, the value of A is 0.2. This formula ensured that the issued certificate precisely reflects both the quantity of the waste battery processed and the quality of the recycling performance as indicated by the actual recovery percentage. The inclusion of the A factors allows for appropriate adjustment recognizing the different implications of domestic source versus imported waste batteries in the overall EPR framework. This methodological calculation underpins the integrity of the EPR certificate system. Slide 17, EPR certificate formula example. The EPR certificate formula provides a clear method for calculating the extended producer responsibility certificate that recycle earn for their processing efforts. The general formula is EPR certificate in kg to the actual recovery in percentage by recovery target percentage for specified year into quantity processed into kg multiplied by 1 minus A. Let us consider a practical example to illustrate this calculation. Imagine a scenario where a recycler processed 1000 kg of portable battery during 2024-25 physical year. For these batteries, the actual recovery rate achieved by the recycler is 80%. Concurrently, the established recovery target for the specific year and the battery type is 70%. Since these batteries are domestically sourced, the adjustment factor of A is 0. Plugging these values into the formula, the EPR certificate 80% by 70% into 1000 kg into 1 minus 0, EPR certificate equal to 0.8 by 0.7 into 1000 kg multiplied by 1 EPR certificate equal to 1.143 into 1000 kg EPR certificate, that is equal to 1143 kg. In this example, the recycler would be issued EPR certificate for approximately 1143 kg. This outcome is significant because it's more than the actual 1000 kg of the waste battery process. This demonstrates how this formula rewards recycler for exceeding the set recovery target, thereby incentivizing more efficient and higher quality recycling practice within the EPR framework. Slide 18, certificate validity period. The validity period for EPR certificate is crucial aspect of the extended producer responsibility framework, providing both stability and a clear timeline for the compliance. As per the details provided, EPR certificates are valid for a period of 7 years. This means that once generated, these certificates can be utilized by the producer to meet their environmental obligation for 7 consecutive years. A significant feature of this validity period is the 100% value retention throughout its duration. Certificates maintain their full value, ensuring that the efforts and the resource invested in their generation, that is through recycling or refurbishment, are consistently recognized and applicable for the compliance. Conversely, upon the expire of this 7-year period, the certificate holds 0 value. This stipulation ensures that the producer cannot indefinitely hold on to certificate, promoting continuous engagement with the waste management efforts. The extended 7-year validity offers producer a degree of flexibility in their strategic planning, allowing them to account for market fluctuations and optimize their compliance strategy over the reasonable time frame. However, it is imperative for producer to utilize these certificates within the window as expired. Certificate cannot be used for fulfill the EPR obligations. Slide 19, compliance verification. Compliance verification is a critical component of the extended producer responsibility framework, ensuring that all stakeholders adhere to their environmental obligations. This process involves several key aspects to maintain accountability and transparency. Firstly, the producer verification is conducted by the CPCB, that is Central Pollution Control Board, or a designated agency. This involves regular inspection and the periodic audit of producer to confirm they are actively meeting their EPR commitment. This direct oversight is crucial for ensuring producers are fulfilling their responsibility for their end of life management of their product. Secondly, the recycler and refurbisher verification ensures that the entities involved in the actual processing of the waste batteries are also compliant. The CPCB verifies their operation through inspection and periodic audits. Furthermore, the CPCB has the authority to direct State Pollution Control Board to take actions against the entities operating within their respective jurisdiction, ensuring proper waste handling and processing. Thirdly, a comprehensive data analysis is undertaken. The CPCB is responsible for carrying out audit of reported data, including information sourced from the Goods and Service Tax (GST) network portal. This audit can be performed either by CPCB itself or by the designated agency to verify the accuracy and veracity of the information submitted by all parties. And finally, enforcement options are a vital part of the system. Based on the finding from these verification process, appropriate action can be taken against any violators or non-fulfillment of obligation. These actions can range from the suspension or the cancellation of the registration to the imposition of the environmental compensation, ensuring that no complaints carry the significant consequences and act as a deterrent. Slide 20. Future outlook and the challenges. The Battery Waste Management Rules 2022 mark a pivotal advancement in the Indian strategy for addressing the escalating issues of battery waste. With the accelerating adoption of electric vehicles and the proliferation of the portable electronic, the effective implementation of these rules is paramount. The future outlook for battery waste management presents both opportunities and significant challenges. Key challenges include the imperative to develop a robust and adequate collection infrastructure to efficiently gather spent batteries across the country. Equally crucial is the task of ensuring widespread consumer awareness regarding proper battery disposal and recycling practice, as public participation is vital for success of any collection scheme. Furthermore, building sufficient recycling capacity to meet the ambitious target set forth in the rules poses a substantial industrial and logistically challenge. The success of these regulations will hinge on comprehensive collaboration among all stakeholders, encompassing producers, consumers, recyclers, and regulatory bodies. Continuous adaptation to evolving technology advancement in the battery chemistry and recycling process, as well as the responsive to market development, will also be essential to ensure the long-term effectiveness and sustainability of India's battery waste management framework. This concludes our series on battery waste management, a crucial component within the broader framework of e-waste. In our upcoming segment next week, we will delve deeper into the complexity of e-waste management. So stay connected to this channel for insightful updates. Until then, stay cool and take care. Wishing you a safe and refreshing summer season.